Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday morning. It is October 6th, and it is about 10:30 a.m. as I record this video. Typically, I can get one out earlier, but just ain't got to it. It's Sunday morning, and I've been playing with Teddy. Ella's been sleeping, of course, getting her naps in, going outside. Anyway, several things to cover. There are new threats, new warnings of threats to the homeland that are going to be through this weekend and for the next couple of weeks or so. I'll go more into that. Also, there is another big storm coming to the southeast. I'll go into that as well and a couple of other things. But first, Teddy wanted to. I guess he wanted to jump up here. He was up. He was wanting to get in my lap. So, how you doing, man? How you been? He's trying to look outside. He's trying to look out that window. Always on guard, Teddy. You're only about what, 13 pounds, 14 pounds, maybe. But I tell you what, if anything's approaching, he's going to let you know about it. So at the very least, he's an early warning system, aren't you? Always on watch. I can go out in that backyard, y'all. I can go out there and just be looking at stuff and just, just enjoying the nature. And every time I go out there, he's right on my heels, and he's always kind of right at my back, watching my back, and he's always turned the other way. He's always looking in the directions that I'm not looking every single time, like he's looking out for stuff. Don't that right? Ain't that right? That's right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. All right. Go spend some time with Ella. See what she's doing. Also, I've gained a lot of new viewers, a lot of new subscribers. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Welcome here. Welcome to everybody. The people, especially the people who've been with me for years. With that brings more negative comments and trolls. I don't believe they're bots. I don't believe the overwhelming majority. I believe they're real people, and I believe some of them are just straight out demons. I believe. I really do believe that. Some of them have even gone as far as to go over to Mrs. Dawg's channel and troll her. Now, you're a sad sack of what, I can't say it here. You're sad. It's just very sad if you have to go over to Mrs. Dawg's channel and harass her on there. Miss Dawg is just trying to do some gardening videos, and she doesn't even post that often. But I know here on my channel, here lately, every video I publish, I'm having to block y'all. It's 8 to 10, and it used to be like a couple, one or two every video. But I understand with more views, you're going to get more of them. But they're getting more. To me, it's getting worse as far as what they're saying. They're veiled threats as well, and I've even come close to taking action on a couple of them. I really have. I probably should. I haven't, and sometimes I get some hate email. I haven't had that in a while, but they're in the comments, and we catch them pretty quick typically. But anyway, I think it's a sign of the times. I really is especially when you talk about your faith, that will bring it out. Now, some of you have said, respectfully, I don't care for that. I watch your videos, love your videos, but I cut it off when you start talking about faith. You're still welcome here. I just want to make sure I get that out. You're welcome here. And, if you don't listen to that last part, I still appreciate you being here. I still invite you to listen to it and give it a chance sometime. But I still appreciate you being here. All right. With that said, I do have another passage that is very compelling that I will share towards the end of this video. So stay tuned for that. I invite you, all of you, to do that. All right. The people of Appalachia, before I get to the main thing, I have to say that there are people in Appalachia, that's North Carolina, especially Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, I think even, that still do not have power and basic essentials. And we're into 10 days now in the United States of America. 10 days, y'all. Yet, millions, millions upon millions of dollars are still being sent overseas to foreign countries. Now, I will watch how I say that. I will watch my wording here, but I, uh, I can't, how I can't describe or fully express how awful I believe that is. I really do. Um, I really do. It's just such a shame. It's such a shame, and it's sad. I think it's criminal, personally. I really do. I really do. But this is just another confirmation that this can happen to any of us. Who would have thought that a hurricane could go in and the effects of that go in and wipe out mountain towns that far up? And, disaster can strike anywhere you're located. And it's just another reminder that we are on our own. You're not going to be able to depend on the government. Uh, and I think that includes not all cases. I think that's mostly federal, government. So it's community, local is going to be the thing, and I think that's so important. I think it's going to be even more important as we're going forward here, y'all. From now on, uh, new warnings. United States security officials are warning. They keep warning of potential threats between now, and within the next 2 weeks in particular. Uh, Different parts of the country, several cities are on higher alert, increased patrols. New York City and the state police, New York City and the state, yeah, the city police and the state police they're said to be cooperating, increasing patrols around tunnels, bridges, explosive detection missions, trying to detect any radiation. Similar goes for Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami, Philadelphia. So the major cities are probably the biggest concerns. If you don't live in or around one of these bigger cities, I would still take this seriously. If you look at October 7th attacks in Israel a year ago, they didn't attack Tel Aviv, they didn't attack the large cities. They attacked the villages, they attacked over the border, and they attacked families. Families. And they caught them by surprise, and the people who were at that concert, uh, an outdoor concert venue. So I would say any large gathering, be extra alert. We pretty much avoid any large gathering. Uh, but if you are near one or in one, be extra alert. Know the exits. Have a plan if things go awry. Uh, I'm also concerned about churches, especially these large ones. But it can happen at any church, anywhere. Uh, your large churches, synagogues. They're saying even mosques could be a target. Um, but we're on that anniversary coming up on the anniversary. Really, it would be more today because I guess today is their October 7th over there now in that part of the country, in that part of the world. But your neighborhoods, your homes, have some type of plan. I would say have a protection tool device close by, ready with you, even at home, especially at home. Something you have access to that's pretty quick. We've talked about that here, having at least something on the ready that you can get to quickly. And of course, if you have security cameras, trail cams, that's awesome too. So you can kind of have a little bit more of an alert. If you have dogs, even small dogs, can give you warning. Can be a deterrent. So there's no ultimate uh, deterrent that's going to stop anything. But the more you have in place, the better off you are, I believe, as you're able to. Um, but I would take this warning pretty seriously. I know it's coming from the government. I get it. Um, I know there are those who will say, well, October 7th over there in Israel, it was all inside job and all that. You know what? You know what? We don't really know that for sure. We probably never will. Uh, Whatever was behind it or the whoever masterminded it, for sure, it happened. It happened. So, it can happen anywhere. It can happen here. I mean, if you think about it, and like I mentioned before, there's so many soft targets that we really, really have to be defense minded. 10 years ago, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 years ago, uh, wasn't thinking like that. Most of us, we really weren't. Now, I've always kind of had that kind of a baseline, at least awareness. But 10 years ago, think about it. 10 years, 15 years ago, would you ever thought, would we talk about this? No. Hmm. Keep self-protection close at hand. There could be other ways that they do it. It could be cyber, it can be attacking power stations, different things, to just to disrupt our our life. Keep cash out on hand. As far as the amount, that's up to you. That's everybody's different. Uh, Keep our gas tanks full. I'm not letting ours get very. I'm not even. I was filling up at half a tank. I'm filling up even before that nowadays. Um, if there was an October 7th style attack on us and neighborhoods, think about all these large neighborhoods similar to what they did in Israel. You're not going to be able to just say, well, I'm going to call 911 and they're going to take care of it, because they will not be able to. Even if they wanted to, in a situation like that, they will be overwhelmed with the calls, with the responses, especially if you're in a smaller town, rural areas, and they don't know that. We hear reports all the time of people, homes, towns being cased out in these small towns. And it's been happening for a while, probably for a reason, right? And think about everything we've heard, even over the last year, about all the young military aged men that have flowed through into this country, not just from the southern border, from the northern border, flown in, come in by boat, by land, air, and sea. They've been flowing in here, y'all, and it's alarming. I've seen footage, I've seen videos, countless, and it's time stamped. It's not fake, of just high numbers of these young males from all over the world, and they don't have families, they don't have kids with them. And I get some of them could be coming in here to work, send money home, but that all of them, no, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. Mm-mm. But think about how many of them are in here, and then we hear the stories of not just the crime, but just being cased, being watched. So it will be just like what we have seen with the storm. Uh, we're going to be on our own. And the more we can band together and help each other be prepared, the better. Now, depending on where you live, I'm not going to try to harp on this too much. Even where I live, I mean, we're in a we're in a pretty red county here, you know. But and in my neighborhood, I have no doubt that many people in here are um, they're probably ready. They're probably prepared to use a self-defense device. Let's put it that way. However, I think many have a false sense of security here. I can't get a neighborhood watch started. I've tried. I hear crickets. That's all I hear. When I bring it up, and I've stopped, I won't bring it up again. So it's incumbent. It's really, we're on our own, and then if you can get a couple of people, if you can band together and get a neighbor or two or something, then you're doing good. You're doing good. Let me know in the comments how you've done with that, and any tips, tricks, advice. We would appreciate it. I'm open, or if you know of examples of that, of banding together and having some kind of plan. I think that's a good thing. It doesn't cost anything, it really doesn't. I mean, it costs some time, but I think it's prudent. I think it's prudent to do that. But I don't think we'll be able to necessarily rely on the local authorities. I really don't. Tropical storm Milton they're saying, will be a hurricane by Wednesday, well, even by tomorrow or Tuesday, and possibly hit. It's going to slam, at least the predictions now. Now, these hurricanes can change, things can change, but at least now it is projected to slam through the state of Florida from the west to the east and drop a torrential amount of rain. And they've already been getting a lot of rain all across Florida. It could be a category 3 or higher is what they're saying. So this is something to watch. Folks in Florida, the graphics that I've seen, especially from the North Florida all the way down through most of the state and South Georgia. Now, again, that could switch, they could change course. So it's something to watch, something to keep watch of. Ryan Hall has a very good weather channel to keep up with. He's awesome. So and they're doing a lot of work for relief efforts up in the Carolinas and Tennessee and in Georgia. So so this is something to keep a watch. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to a passage. This part of this passage will sound familiar, may sound familiar to you, but a lot of folks usually would just stop at the one verse. I'm going to read a little bit more after that. I think it kind of helps drive it home. But I'm in Isaiah. I'm in chapter 5, where it's talking about judgment. I know in my last video I said judgment's coming. It's coming. Isaiah chapter 5, starting at verse 20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and clever in their own sight. Woe to those who are heroes at drinking wine and champions at mixing drinks, who acquit the guilty for a bribe, but deny justice to the innocent. Amen. I believe that, I believe we're at those times, or close, or approaching it. I really do. Share what you think, y'all. But we're seeing a lot of this, and it's just so in our face. But we know how it ends, and we just have to remain faithful, stay close to Jesus, right? All right, let's stay aware out there. Let's really keep our situational awareness top shelf right now, okay? All right, be careful. God bless you. I'll see you soon.